Hi, Michael Fry, President and CEO of Deepwater Subsea. In this episode of The Daily Grind, I'm talking about checklists and procedures and how if you're still using this, you need to get on board and start using this. Let's get into the show. Procedural discipline. It's something that organizations are talking about each and every day. I talk about it at conferences, procedural drift, why today's employees refuse to follow procedures. And what's really interesting is when you go through the data on why people refuse to follow procedures, it's actually pretty simple. They either think they know what's in the procedures, they don't like being told what to do, the procedures don't really work at the work site, and there's a lot of other things that come into play, but really at the end of the day, it's not something that supports the end user. Now, if I print this out and go to the work site, what ends up happening is I have to pull it out, I have to take a look at it, I gotta try to read through all these steps, which step am I on, check. And at the same time, if I find things that are wrong, I have to write it down either in my tally book or on my clipboard. If I see things, I gotta take pictures, and then I gotta go back and try to load all this into my maintenance system. Unfortunately, guys today aren't doing that. Why? Why should they? No one enforces it. And if you give people the option, they're going to take the path of least resistance. Fast forward to today, we're talking about technology. We're using electronic checklists. The team at Deepwater Subsea and I have partnered up with a group to really take digital checklists to another level. What I find interesting is there are other organizations who are pushing digital checklists, and that's great. I think that's the direction that the industry needs to go. But if you're not truly forward thinking with what is it that the end user needs, not what the organization needs, you're missing out on a big opportunity. The reason I want to talk about in this daily grind is with procedural discipline, verification, training, competency, how do we make sure that you have the perfect storm? You do that by building a tool that when you give it to the end user, gives him everything he needs. And a lot of companies are missing out on that today. If I give a maintenance procedure to a junior guy, can he go out to the work site and actually perform the steps that are required of him? How do I know that he's been trained to do that? We assume that just because he's in the maintenance department or he's a mechanic, he's an electrician, he's a subsea person, that he should know everything that needs to be done. But what if he doesn't? What's going to happen is he's going to go to the work site and he's going to pencil whip it because he's like, I'm not going to go back to my boss and say, hey, Mike, I don't know how to do this. What he's going to do is he's just going to go through the motions. He's going to come back and go, I didn't find anything wrong. And then unfortunately what takes place is an investigation will happen. And then we'll show up, start digging through, start asking a lot of questions, start probing around. And what we'll find out is the maintenance steps actually haven't been completed. And it's unfortunate because if we want to increase the competency of the guys at the work site, if we want to increase the compliance with not only regulations, but just compliance with a company's policies and procedures, there's a way to do that, and that way is through electronic checklists. Kind of wrapping up this daily grind, what I want you to think about, the industry as a whole, we talk about being technology savvy, we talk about being forward looking, look at all this great stuff we have, but at the end of the day, we print out procedures, if we even do, and the majority of the guys don't even follow them. So what are you doing as an organization to go forward thinking? What are you doing as an organization to improve procedural discipline and procedural compliance? Electronic checklists are definitely the way to go. I can go to the work site, know exactly what step I'm on by going through it. I can take pictures, I can submit videos. There's a lot of things in this tool that we've built that will help you in your organization. So wrapping it up, if you have questions about digital checklists, if you're interested in learning more about what we're doing here at Deepwater Subsea to help the industry and can help your organization, please feel free to drop me an email at mike@deepwatersubsea.com, and we'll be happy to set up a demonstration to show you how this tool not only will help change your organization, but will help improve the training and the execution of the guys at the workplace doing the work. Something to think about.